Now, that's leading on nicely onto episode 4,
Yeah.
Teacher's Pet.
Yes.
And I kind of like, for me overall, this is a stronger episode for me because there's a lot of kind of evil. It has that Fright Night vibe, actually, going back to that film because of the one person seeing things.
Yes.
Of the kind of like, Buffy sees the twisting of the neck and she senses everything. That makes sense with Buffy's character, the Slayer.
Yeah.
And so, what do you guys think of the episode?
I preferred it to the third. I don't know why. I like it because it's a great Xander focused. All his fantasies, and
he's a raging hard on in this episode.
Yeah, and he's such a good actor, and it's so well written as a sort of character. What do you call highlight of his character? Of course, what goes on around that with the witch is fun, but I thought that was brilliant. It's just like a typical. We were laughing quite a lot because it was so well written.
Yeah. It's also the start of a history or a pattern for Xander where he keeps falling in love with monsters over and over again. Yeah. It's the very first one.
Yeah,
I love that, and I swear I recognized it from something, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah, I'm not that certain. You're right.
So the episode starts with I can't remember, Dr. Rogers, something like that.
Yeah.
The science teacher. So
he's great. I have to say, I love that actor. He's just seemed like a real teacher.
So I initially thought when the episode started, the camera, and he in a really short scene, he builds quite a good relationship with Buffy, which is fantastic. Yeah. To do that in such a tight amount of time is absolutely brilliant. And then I thought he was going to get taken away and we'd see something else happen. But then he ends up in a freezer with his head missing. And I love how when this amazing looking substitute teacher appears on the scene, and her first lesson is about praying mantis. It's like so on it. Yeah. Right, you're a praying mantis.
It's the only thing she can teach about, really. So.
Yeah.
And, what's this whole thing with Cordelia having what was it? She goes into the kitchen. She discovers the body. She's got a special ordered meal or something.
Yeah, she said something about that from her doctor, and then later she's talking about being on a diet and how to look on the bright side of things. As if people are being murdered, it's a good way to lose weight. Like it's some kind of.
Is that some sort of theme or connection with the praying mantis kind of thing? Because it kind of bookends the episode almost, doesn't it?
Yeah, almost. I didn't think of that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think it's really just to show how shallow Cordelia's and Buffy's face listening outside. It's like well acted.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to establish that she gets special treatment all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. And what does the head teacher say when after the body's discovered? He's like, "I'll give you a hug, but I can't give you a hug," and he's panicking. I love the kind of panic in him.
That whole scene with him was such a. I forgot that he was involved. Was so good, where he's insisting that she go see a counselor and has no choice.
Yeah. What was his last words? Like, not counseling. He kept saying, "Go get help. Go get help."
He kept kind of elevating his volume.
Yeah.
And after cleaning up the blood in episode 1 in the corridor and all of that, and that student's body in the locker room. How his hair should be pure white now. Or they should get a better head teacher or security.
That's true.
So I think the whole town's in on it. That's how I feel kind of going into this show now. So there's some really kind of good observational or voyeuristic things that I absolutely love about this. Not because I'm a voyeur, but I love the peeking through the curtains. But kind of when she's finds that vampire, it kind of cuts to a fight with her and the vampire.
Yes.
I think it's just kind of like there's no kind of lead up to it. But then when she chases after him, and then he's scared because the teacher's walking home on the other side of the fence.
Yes.
And you think, he's just going to attack this random woman. And she turns around and he gets scared off. Yeah. I just love the shots of Buffy seeing this.
Me
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's my jam, the kind of mystery to it and all of that.
I love that.
And yeah, the same thing happens when Xander's getting hit on by the teacher in the classroom, and touching the shoulder, and he's like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's like,
like a woman's touching me.
Well, and that follows, actually, that scene is directly after the principal sending Buffy to the counseling, and he talks about not being allowed to give a hug to the student. And then the next scene is the teacher touching Xander.
Oh,
that's brilliant.
Right. I didn't think of that.
So
yeah, that's really good. That's a great observation.
Good. Yeah.
And it's the kind of something really sinister about an individual seeing something really creepy.
Yes. Yeah.
And like she's really pushing her luck, twisting her head around like The Exorcist in front of all the students. So I love that, the whole twisting of the head thing. I thought is crazy.
Yeah.
And obviously they make a reference when they go back to the library to chat about it, about The Exorcist. So I kind of love having. It kind of feeds into adventure for me. There's so much I love about it. I keep turning this way, I'm like turning away. But there's so much about the show that, and this kind of it happens at the end, but there's lots of other points, but where they kind of band together and they solve things together. It's kind of a Scooby-Doo kind of thing.
It really is.
They go back to the library, it's their safe zone, they chat about things like that.
You know what's funny, Alex? I'm sorry to cut in.
No, it's fine.
Good point, because that just sparked something. Because we just watched it today, that episode, and I was saying that I wish there was something in life where there'd be this gang of friends like Scooby-Doo that could solve any problem you have in life that suddenly band together. It was a really good feel-good thing. Yeah, it's a family, in a way.
Absolutely, and having those connections so early on. I know we come from a place of reverence for it because we've watched it many years ago, but they're kind of banding together to kind of solve these things. It's not just Buffy, and obviously there's going to be episodes or seasons where she's going to be alone. She's not going to trust anyone. Like that kind of thing will feed into it. But I really absolutely love where everyone has something to do.
Yes.
It's not just they've kept them together and this kind of waste of character.
Yeah, the writing is always so brilliant for that. They really, not only do they establish them well, but they actually use everybody. They seem like involved people. They're not just they're not random characters that walk in and out every episode.
And what I love on top of that, and again, the brilliance shows is the subtleties of, Joss or whoever wrote the episode doesn't say, Willow has a crush on Xander. Instead, it's shown in subtle ways that she's happy he's okay, and how she likes his eyes or whatever, at the beginning of the episode. Right. It's really hard to show not tell, at least when I write. It's a challenge.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this is the return of Xander, as I can find it, from episode 2. I know he's not been away for much, but he ends up, was it for the full episode, leaving her with a leather jacket? It looks better on you.
Yes.
It's kind of going to smolder. The smolder level is going to be like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the really brilliant shot of when he leaves Buffy at the end of the episode in the bronze, and she's just kind of sitting there not saying anything. You can really tell that it's so well shot and acted that you can tell that she's falling for him. They don't need to say anything.
Well, I think she goes, "Oh no."
She says, "Oh no," or something
like that. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't realize it was the bronze again.
Yeah, it's always the bronze.
It's always the bronze.
I should have realized that after our last episode. I was looking at the bronze mugs. I wanted something from the bronze.
Oh, that's cute. That's really cool.
So I have to kind of keep my eye out a bit more.
Oh, that's smart.
They called it a prescribed lunch for Cordelia. That's what they called it.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. She's trying to keep her figure, I guess.
Yeah, so the reveal when Miss French is followed, I love and what I kind of love about the mystery, kind of Stranger Vibes thing and all of that is the vampire goes into the sewer
Yes.
Obviously, my brain goes into a spiral. Where does it go? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of connected to kind of Hellmouth, which I love.
Yeah.
Absolutely love.
That's cool. You know what would be neat is, I don't know if anyone's, probably there are people who have a map, because I'm big on maps and locations, just I don't know why, but yeah, that would be neat. Like if you're saying the sewer system leads to some kind of crypt over there, you know.
It's going to be like one of those maps from a theme park, though, that is kind of makes sense but doesn't.
Yeah.
So I love what the reasoning Buffy goes after the vampire again, to use him.
Yep.
As a kind of like a sensing thing. We haven't got time for this. We'll go and find the vampire, and we'll use him.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant, especially after Angel warns Buffy to be careful around him, and he's the villain according to Angel in that episode. And Buffy doesn't even kill him; she uses him as a bloodhound.
Right, that's true.
And does she kill him with the picket fence?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is our chance to show what a steak looks like. Sorry.
See, this kind of looks like it needs to be chunkier. You know, like how the head vampire at the end of Lost Boys gets killed. That's what you need.
Another good movie.
You need that, don't you? You need.
That was a great movie. Oh, that's a great. Anyway,
I do love the music in that.
The music is amazing. Right?
And just to kind of jump off, it has the most, which isn't a bad thing. It's the most homoerotic scene in anything. Is that saxophone player with the chain and the baby oil on the beach in
I don't remember.
He wears the purple trousers, the purple pants.
I don't.
It's brilliant.
I don't have.
It's a work of genius. I still believe. That one.
And that actually leads me to the thing where you haven't mentioned yet in this episode. The episode opens with Xander daydreaming.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh my God, we haven't even talked about that yet.
In the bronze,
that's what I meant.
And him saving her, and then going to finish his guitar solo.
Yeah, and then he's
which
on
was
stage.
just as a musician, that was so funny.
It was really well done.
It's like a real fantasy, and it's fantastic.
It's really well done. Like even as a girl, like I can go, okay, that's probably what guys think. Like that's what they think.
Yeah, in his teenage mind, he thinks that was what would work.
Yeah. And I love how the reveal it was a dream was you're drooling.
Yeah.
And they do. I don't know if they ever do it later on, but when Xander gets invited to the teacher's house, it quickly flashes to him with doing the guitar solo.
Oh yeah,
just for a second.
Right.
It's like he's on a date. He's not. It's almost like he's not that attracted to this amazing woman, but he kind of goes off on a little tangent in his brain. Brain.
Yeah.
And there's a random thing about that before I mention that the random chat is she turns into the mantis. She drags him off. But in my mind, with those little mantis claws, it's more difficult to drag him off with those rather than the human hands.
Yeah, I know, the big paws. They look more like flippers.
Yeah.
And I love how when he's in the cage with I think it's Blaine, isn't it? Is the job?
Yeah, Blaine. I don't like that.
I think he's a random chet, but maybe less of a character. So I'm going to call him a random chet for us.
Yeah,
that's our second so far.
He's a dweeb. Anyways, he's supposed to be.
He's not that much of a jock, really, is he?
No,
he's just there to argue manhood with Xander.
Oh my God. Xander's grabbed that ball, and when he tries to escape it, he just whacks. Do you see the way the mantis just goes to one side?
Yeah.
I love all the shots. I was joking that when you first see her hands, or the mantis hands, they only show the hands. And I thought that that's all you were ever going to see, but they do show more. But the close-up shots look great of the face. But anytime they show it further back, you can really tell it's just somebody in a suit, and it's not that threatening.
Yeah, those shots through the bars when she's kind of tending to a nest.
Yeah, that was.
I love that, and this is a very small detail, but I don't know why it sticks in my head. When they smash through the basement window, there's like this little curtain that's across the window, and it's so random and pathetic, and you think, why would you have that?
I didn't even know that.
Oh, possibly Giles is the superhero in this show for me in many ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because remember when we talked, I think before we started recording on our last episode about episode 1 and 2, where he chainsaws his way through the house and there's smoke and he walks in, there's a big poshing on him,
Yes.
and he's holding a chainsaw. Like that's just so cool.
It is.
There's a moment in this, a very special moment with a tape recorder. You know when she's playing the tape
Yeah.
recorder? He's doing. How do I? He jumps forward like he's just about to fire a gun, but he plays the tape recorder when he jumps, and I was crying with laughter.
That's really funny. That's a good point.
But yeah, the team play, the kind of camaraderie in this, it really, like us watching this show together, I feel this kind of connection between us.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with this show. I really dig it, and like the kind of there's so much kind of positive stuff in like Stand By Me, the kind of the bond between the friends.
Yeah.
I think that bond's kind of it's really well established. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it really.
I love how they're so protective of each other. No one person is ever singled out. They're always trying to look out for each other. And there's a moment in the end of the episode where Xander attacks the mantis creature thing again, and doesn't really do anything. And Buffy full out pushes him out of the way, which was really funny. But because they're constantly putting themselves at harm's way to risk other people, even when it's not wise to do so. And Xander especially has shown a pattern of this from the beginning.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is amazing.
Right.
It just establishes their group, dynamic.
Yeah.
Even more. So.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Plus, it's another layer of character under Xander that's really solid. Like, you have this immature fantasies, Xander having these fantasies, but underneath, he's a good, solid, he tries.
Yeah.
Which makes you like him even more.
I Willow, everyone is great.
Yeah, Willow. Great.
Willow says something to Cordelia. I can't remember what it was about cheerleading in the third episode. I can't remember what it was. I'll have to try and find it. But yeah. All of them, absolutely all of them are fantastic, and it's obviously characters develop, and we're going to see that over 6 or 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you kind of want this to be the group, and that's it. And obviously they're going to bring in new characters and all of that. And
that's true, and I'm always hesitant. I mean, because I guess I get stuck in things, or I get loyal, or whatever you want to call it. And I don't like the change. I want the same group, but then it does evolve, and it's done in a great way throughout the whole.
Absolutely. One little thing I was like, do I agree with that as a character trait? I was fine with it in the writing. Was killing the unborn, smashing the eggs. Xander smashing the eggs. I'm like, you know what? Giles should have taken them away or something. I'm not disagreeing with the writing or anything like that, but I just thought that was really quite brutal, Xander. it was like some what do you call it? The Mexican thing you kind of hit with.
Oh yeah, those things you.
Oh, the piñatas.
Yeah, it was like piñata. It was like, these are unborn. They've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
So
great features in future.
I think they never really establish that evil creatures can be good. I think until later on. With certain characters, they actually make a big deal of that. But they haven't yet established that sort of crossover. Like if you're a vampire, you're evil. That's it. If you're a witch, you're evil. If you're a giant insect, then that's it. You're bad. It's there's no good traits to you. But they do change that around.
So I'm really looking forward to episode 5 and 6 now.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. How many episodes in the season? Do you remember?
This season
20,
is 12.
Isn't it? 12.
This season is 12. Yeah, the first season is the only one that's 12 episodes.
Okay. So we're coming up to halfway, of the first.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, already.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
This is proven to be really good fun. you know what? It reminds me so much of watching it on Thursdays when I
I
used to
remember
watch it in the UK.
Yeah, that's what Dave was saying.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Isn't it really nice that we're not choosing to watch it all in one gloss like Netflix and Amazon?
Yes.
Kind of
Yeah.
like, that's what they want you to do. So it's really, this is kind of refreshing for me. And you
Me
guys
too.
as well,
Me
that
too.
we're
And I
all
kind of missed
waiting
that.
to watch it. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I miss how good it is. It's like, you know, when you have steak and you can sort of see that steak again or whatever it is. That's great.
Yeah.
You wanna experience it again.
I like the reference to steak, by the way.
Yes. I miss that style of writing when you have you know, something that continues on, and the story is obviously bigger than the one episode, but the one episode is still contained, and so few shows, because of Netflix and the way people watch now, or just don't have that anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
I like the kind of water cooler moment where you're talking about like we are, and you know, you'd speak to your friends about it. Like Lost was the last big one I remember that. I think that was 06, 07, something like that, and that I remember talking about with friends each week. And then it kind of lost because most people are watching Stranger Things or something like that in one hit, and they talk about it for a week. And I don't talk about it for over a constant time and have a real connection. So
absolutely,
it's really nice that I'm really happy that we're doing this because it.
Me too, Alex. And you know, I don't watch a lot of, like, this isn't my main kind of focus usually, but it's the writing again, the consistency, and it's enough to inspire me to want to go, wow, like to really fall in love with Joss Whedon, you know, and go, wow, your vision, your creativity, your characters, you know, your quirkiness. That's a whole other thing, Joss Whedon.
Absolutely,
Funny enough, I did want to bring up that he wrote very few of the episodes. I know he was involved, but his team of people, his team of writers are excellent.
Yeah.
So like if you look at it, it's a very similar thing, David, with the X-Files. You got Glenn Morgan, and like the worst, for me, personal opinion, the worst episodes of the X-Files are written by Chris Carter. Like they've got a team of writers that are so on it. This episode 4, Teacher's Pet, reminded me, it felt like X-Files to me.
Yes.
One of the slightly more odd ones where there was one where there was a teacher, there was a witch, I think, and the town kind of banded around her. There was
I vaguely remember that.
It's really enjoying this so far. And,
me too.
Absolutely.
And what I'm going to do is I just had a little idea whilst we're talking that between episode 3 and 4 we'll have one of those bat signals like spinning or like to cut the episode up almost.
That's a smart idea.
Great idea.
That's a smart idea.
So we'll release them as one whole episode, but then we'll so people know it's the next episode we're talking about.
That's a great idea.
It's your edit points.
Exactly. So this is great, and if you have any more ideas or we can collectively think about things we want to see, or not necessarily things we want to talk about, but way to kind of feed them into the show.
Sure.
If we want how we kind of introduce the show, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'll think about it too. Thanks, Alex.
This will mature and grow, and then that'll be over before you know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this is great. Yeah, thanks. It really is. This. I don't know how many. I mean, I know there are a lot of Buffy fans out there, but it's just it's nice to have someone who's earnestly interested. Anyway.
Exactly,
well, I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned last time. I used to go to not right away, but I think it was by the 3rd or 4th season of Buffy when it was still being aired. I used to go every week to a friend of mine's house, and a bunch of us would go to his house every week in a group. And you know that kind of thing doesn't really happen anymore. People watch shows on their own, and they might talk about it. And as you mentioned, you just forget about it.
Yeah.
But I used to do that for quite a long time, and having the camaraderie and the group experience thing is so much fun.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It really is, and especially when the 3 of us are not necessarily purposely looking at certain aspects of the show and the way it's put together, but kind of got our strengths, I like to say.
Yeah.
So I think this is working really well.
It's great, Alex. Thank you so much for coordinating it. And I know it takes a lot. You've got a lot on your plate already, but we really like it.
Now this is a welcome relief.
Okay.
I got so much going on. I've got so much going on, but this is easy because of you guys as well. So it's
thank you.
It's really welcome. And I was thinking, I'm not saying when or where exactly how we release this, but should we record the first covering the first season first, and then start drip feeding on that?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Because then I think by the end we'll have, maybe streamline's not the right word, but we'll have learned some lessons maybe by the time we do a few of these.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just realized my face is the same shade as my shirt. So I need to do something with my color balance. The only reason I'm wearing my baseball cap is because my hair's so messy.
Same.
Yeah,
same here.
That's the only reason. So yeah.
That's cool, Alex. Don't worry. I mean, like I love it, and maybe after the first, season of watching.
Sure.
Yeah.
I had this little dream of Josh Whedon appearing on the episode at some point.
Oh.
There's actually.
I can cross all my.
Maybe.
There's a number of people involved, as I mentioned, the writers, who all, I can't remember the team of writers who left Buffy who went on to do Angel.
Must have been quite a lot,
spectacular.
Yeah,
and,
that would be
and there's quite a few, and all of them, almost, I think one of the showrunners or one of the head writers of Angel went on to be one of the head writers for Mad Men, or was one of the showrunners.
Wasn't Matthew Reno, was it?
That was the creator of Mad Men, but one of his executive producers.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Might have been Frank Kazooie. I'm not sure. There's some connections that are still going on.
Interesting,
That's incredible.
Buffy.
Yeah.
That's great to hear, because they must have obviously the storied history between the writers and that. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it would be neat to see if we could find some people to chat with.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Like I mentioned yesterday, that Michael Chan follows you. I think you both follow each other on Instagram. And Michael's a great guy, and he's kind of heading up to a certain degree the cosplay aspect of the horror festival. So
fun.
We're asking people to submit cosplay pictures, and we're not creating another thing. We're just kind of highlighting them, putting the pictures up on the website and all of that. So.
Cool.
When we get to the end of this season, which is going to be really good fun, we'll figure out whether we want it to be. We don't even know if highlighted it, whether we want it to be part of the festival or we want it to be its own thing.
Yeah.
I think kind of both could be fun. I mean,
and then continue it past it. Yeah.
If you think it's appropriate, because you know best, but
yeah, I want it to kind of, one thing's guaranteed: it's going to be fun.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool, and it's a nice break, as you say, like away from the normal stuff we have to do.
Yeah. Like washer dryers and.
Oh yeah, still waiting, by the way.
We're still waiting.
Yeah, I have to call the people in charge of the washer.
I just realized that kitchen counter's from your short film.
Oh, you're right. You're
yes,
right.
It is. Yeah, that's
a brilliantly weird short film.
Fantastic.
But actually, Alex, I have to say on that, you really, I love that. It was a lot of, it was great to have that, such a creative place to just try to do something, no matter how crap it was. It was so much fun to do, and you brought, by initiating that, you have no idea the beauty. I know it sounds corny. The beauty, creativity, and just the sense of, we have a mission now. I know the world's falling all around us, almost feels like, but we've got this beautiful creative goal, and there's nothing like that to bring people together and to actually create more sparks of light everywhere. I know this sounds totally corny, but there's
a lot in that. I don't think it's corny. It's good to be positive. But it kind of whittles down to that. It's good to be positive, and
yes,
I thank you for those sentiments, because it's.
I mean it from here.
So now we've got this fantastic thing, the Slayer Talk, that David brilliantly named, and now I'm doing the Hellbound Horror Festival, trying to tear that positivity to kind of like evil.
I love it.
But in the horror community,
I'm a huge metalhead. I'm a big metal fan. I have been for my whole life, and I was
Sorry.
I was remarking how the fans of that genre of music, it may seem like an extreme music, but all of the fans are some of the most accepting and nice and caring people I've ever met in any other genre. And horror to me is quite the same.
Right.
People realize the absurdity of it at the same time of being able to throw themselves in and have fun and be scared or disgusted or whatever.
The funny thing you say about metal music, the first submission we ever received for this new festival was a metal band from Australia. They asked me through Film Freeway, which is one of the ways to submit, whether they could submit the video. I said, if it's got horror themes, it's heavily horror based, then yeah, I have no problem with it, and I keep an open mind. And it's really good. I'll share some of the content with you guys soon.
Fun.
Cool. Cool.
There's a stop animation about alcoholism. That alcoholism is a monster that's always with you.
Wow.
And when he goes to an A&A meeting, there's a different monster for each person around.
Oh,
that's
wow, that's
I like
genius.
that idea.
And yeah, it's had such a good response, and like you say, the community's really strong. And
it's fun.
That's great.
yeah, so this has been great. I love you two, and
I love you,
this
Pat.
is fun. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
So you just let me know whenever, wherever you want to do the next two, whether it's a week or 2 weeks. Everything's great for me.
Okay.
Okay, we'll let you know. And do you want to do 2 episodes or 3 episodes?
I think 2 episodes a week is
two is good.
What we'll do is we'll get to the end of the season doing 2, get a nice balance, and then we'll work out what we want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That's really great. Well, thanks, Alex, and have a great rest of your. Well, I guess it's late there.
Have a
later
good evening.
No, absolutely. Like when I was watching episode 4, I was in the kitchen and I was like, oh, this is great. I can't wait to speak to the guys about the episode. It automatically started the 5th episode. I was like, no, gotta stop it now.
That's really cute.
So
that's awesome.
And I'm honestly very tempted to look at descriptions of episodes. And David, you might have more of an idea of what's coming up, but I completely I've got to savor it. This is what's really nice. We've seen it, but we're savoring it as well.
Savoring
so
it.
They put the episode titles on the backs of the DVD cases along with the synopsis of them, and I've been trying not to look at them.
Okay, as a little sneak peek for our viewers, however many that is, whether it's just me or dozens of people or whatever it is, what are the titles of episode 5 and 6?
The titles are, I'm going to know what episodes they are now. Never Kill a Boy on the First Date, and The Pack.
Ooh, okay, great. I think that's a great way to end the episode, actually.
Yeah, and that's going to be my thing every episode. Oh, wait, can you pretend to explode?
Do you know what? If I can do it, I'm going to put a special effect in.
Oh! Do you want me to do that again in slow motion?
Yeah, go on, try it again, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I'm going to do it, even if it's the most ridiculous explosion, I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
That's great. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
You as well.
Bye. Keep safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.